connected. But just to do the videos that I was already doing on a daily basis, but to do them with where people can ask me questions if they want to. So today I'm going to go through online advertising, basically the purchase and optimization of online advertising. So the first thing I'd just like to explain, because I think you need to understand the basics to be able to actually take advantage of it properly, is how online advertising systems optimize traffic. Okay, so how do they decide what campaigns to give traffic to and campaigns not? So the only thing that an online system or website, an app, any kind of online media can generate is views. However, most of the campaigns these days are bought on a CPC basis. Okay, so for starters, you've got to understand that you're optimizing from an impression basis, a CPM basis, through to an advertising basis, which is CPC. And what a system uses to work out what campaigns to give more traffic to is what's called the eCPM, which is the effective CPM. So how many clicks are generated from 1,000 impressions, basically, and how much is being paid per those campaigns. This is quite important for that very reason that I've just said, in terms of how many clicks are generated for a specific number of impressions, so per 1,000 impressions. The same happens on a complete variable basis, on a CPA basis, or a cost per acquisition or cost per sale basis. Exactly the same things happening. The system's analyzing how many clicks or how many purchases are being made for every 1,000 impressions, and it gives more traffic to those that are generating more. The only other part of the calculation, obviously, is how much is being paid for those clicks and how much is being paid for those purchases. So if you've got a low click rate or a low conversion rate, but you're paying a high amount per click or per conversion, then you're competing on equal terms with a campaign that's got a higher click rate or a higher conversion rate. Okay, no, that's the most important point. So if you can increase your click rate, or you can increase your conversion rate, then you can actually compete on the same level as other campaigns, but paying a lower cost. Okay, so just really important to bear in mind, because the same thing happens in effect with with organic social media campaigns. That's why a campaign that has, or a post that has higher engagement will be given more impressions, because you're getting more kick for your money, as it were. You're getting more reaction to the same action. When you're running a series of campaigns, you've got to bear this in mind, right? Okay, so how much am I paid per click? How much am I getting per impression? What are my click rates? What are my conversion rates? So when you're analyzing or optimizing campaigns, the first thing that you need to do, or the first rule that I follow, is to just cut everything that's not working. It's same as in medicine, I guess, right? You cut yourself. The first thing to stop doing is bleeding. Well, exactly the same online. So when you launch a campaign or a series of campaigns, you should always do multiple tests, A, B, C, D, E, F. Tests on everything you're running, because little things can make a huge difference. So when you're optimizing between a series of campaigns, the first thing you should do is cut those that really aren't working. So you can, and the next thing you should do is really push those that are working. I call it a bit like surfing a wave. So I've never surfed, but my understanding of surfing is you're out on the surfboard in the sea. waiting for a good wave. And when a good wave comes, then you've just got to surf it as much as possible. And if it's a bad wave, then possibly you want to get out of the wave as quickly as possible and go back and wait for a better one. Right? Exactly the same with online advertising. You run a series of campaigns, you cut what's not working, and you push as much as possible. You add as much campaign money as possible into the campaigns that are working well. How to do this, and here's a I'll just explain how I do it, right? Okay, so my situation's different, I guess, to most people's, but there's no reason why it should be different to most people's. And when I say that, I mean I'm surrounded in the companies that we have that we run, or I run I don't run, other people run the companies that I've set up or are part of on a daily basis. There are lots of specialists, experts in different systems, in different platforms, in different parts of the process, and so basically, even with a lot of access to specialists in lots of different areas, different platforms, different social networks. What I tend to do personally, here's Jens. So what I tend to do personally is I'll run the campaigns myself, and I'll ask for advice from those that know better than me in terms of setting up the campaign or optimizing the campaign. So on our day-to-day side of things, I don't know, we've got people from AdWords through to Facebook, through to programmatic different programmatic systems, through to influencer marketing, through to conversion funnels and CRM systems and all the rest of it. But what I'll normally do is I'll say, look, I'll try and set it up myself. And I think anybody that, unless you're a huge company, that's probably the best way of doing things initially. Try to set it up myself, and then I'll get somebody to have a look at what I'm doing and check whether it's done properly and whether it can be done in a better way. Taking or sort of following on from that example of how I do things personally, we've basically all the companies, and actually this is mainly done for LinkedIn. I'll take the video and upload it to LinkedIn later on. But so what we're now doing across all the companies, and within my LinkedIn post and within the YouTube post, I'll put the list of companies and the people that you can contact. But what we're doing is basically the same thing. So you can in effect contract a packet of hours, a small number of hours, where people will support you in the campaigns that you're doing. So they'll support you in the setup, they'll support you in the strategy, they'll support you in the optimization, and on an ongoing basis, because none of this is fixed in time. All campaigns change because it depends on the amount of traffic, the type of product, the interest from the users. There tends to be more interest from a user when something's newer, and less interest when it's older. And as I say, because all of this there's lots of moving parts, right? And because all of this is based around what effective CPM you're giving in the system itself, it's all dependent on the click rate or the conversion rate that you're receiving at any one point in time, and the comparative click rates and conversion rates in other campaigns that are competing with your campaign on the system. So you're always launching or should always be launching new campaigns, new focus, new ideas, new call to actions, new creatives. You can recycle some of it as well. People have very short memories, but you need to optimize continually. Jens, I don't know if he's still connected, but Jens is a partner of mine for a long time in an online advertising company. And when we were running campaigns, we'd be looking at a campaign, I don't know, every hour. The the systems might update every hour, and every time the systems would update, we'd go in, we'd see what was working, what wasn't working, what had changed in the previous year, and we'd optimize. We'd double up on budgets. We take campaigns, split them, and do some A/B testing if we saw that they were working better. There are now automatic systems to do that. I've got a share in a few. I'll give you their names as well. There's Dolnai, for example, that will do that with AdWords. You need quite a high spend because it splits a campaign into so many different campaigns that if there's not a minimum amount of budget per campaign, it's not able to optimize properly. But that's an AI based AdWords optimization system, Dolnai. Brainity, which is a Facebook e-commerce focused optimization system, also runs. It was initially focused on remarketing campaigns, and now works across all the entire funnel of users. And there's also both Tornado Performance and Brainity. They're the systems that basically do the same with influencer marketing. With influencer marketing, it's slightly different because obviously when the post or the creative is done, there's not much optimization you can do for that specific campaign, and every campaign is very personalized because you're depending on the influencer themselves. But you can work at choosing the best influencers and giving them the best instructions to optimize campaigns on a sort of ongoing basis. Anyway, that's it for me. I said I'd do 10 minutes today, and I'll do this again tomorrow, Tuesday and Wednesday. If you'd like me to do it on any specific topic, then if not, I'll just do things